A friend of mine that was clearing out an apartment in Inglewood saw this sign leaning up against the garage. I acquired the sign, and it just brought back all the memories of going down to Inglewood. We would go to the police barn beside the National Hotel. They would auction off the bicycles that had been stolen and not claimed by their owners. After, we would have lunch at the National and then go across the street to Crown Surplus to see what kind of goodies they had. And that was basically our Saturday afternoons. Lots of other Calgarians have written in telling us stories about what it meant to them as well.
I think places like the Nash were given a raw deal by people who thought everything has to be sanitized, everything has to be, clean and nice and orderly. No, it was a place to go have a drink. It was a place to talk. It was a place to listen to music. It was a place to meet friends.
I've spoken to so many people that have a personal connection with this old hotel, with the history of it, whether they were here as an underage, as a minor, having drinks in the tavern, or here in the 80s watching punk rock bands. It's quite a diversity. So when I developed the current sign on the outside of the building, I was inspired by the history, including that old sign, which is now resurfaced, is all part of the magnificent history. Anytime we change either the interior or the exterior of the building, there's certain aspects of the building that have to be honored as historic parts of it. So my original idea for the sign with neon and an arrow and all that was originally denied, but I actually eventually found a photograph with that old sign on display on the outside, which allowed me to get sort of heritage approval to do the new sign. So, you can see what kind of history, that this hotel went through. Being, in the early 1900s, the premier hotel in the city, when Inglewood was very much downtown, to really falling into a big state of disrepair. And now in the last 10 years, it's come back to life.
The place is alive, even if intermittently, even if it is seen times when the environment has been kind of sleazy or the hotel business has suffered. It's through the years, it's always come back and become something that attracts people to it. The best use of an old building is for it to have a function, not to sit there empty like a museum piece. And here we have the National Hotel, which is adapted to every changed circumstance in all the years it's been there since 1907. That makes it an outlier because it's so often older buildings have been demolished.
When I look at the sign, I can imagine how many people saw this as they were traveling through the city. My dad actually grew up on 10th Avenue, literally 10 houses away from the National Hotel. So this sign he would have seen every day as long as they lived in Inglewood.